Some leftist in Finland here. I hope you are ready for some ranting, some righteous anger, righteous indignation, whatever it's called. Even before I read this story, I had a lot of things building up inside of me, and this article will be the conduit through which I get all of this sludge out of my system. So I hope you're ready to hear some filth. Okay, maybe it won't be too filthy, but this I'll just begin reading, and of course the article you can follow along in the description. Republican governors in 15 states reject summer food money for kids. Republican governors in 15 states are rejecting a new federally funded program to give food assistance to hungry children during the summer months, denying benefits to 8 million children across the country. The program is expected to serve 21 million kids starting around June, providing $2.5 billion in relief across the country. Now, in case you just don't understand why this is important, many of the kids in these states where these governors are saying, no, thank you to this money, they are living in abject poverty. A lot of these states are red states that have a lot of people who vote for these very people who try to take their welfare away from them, who are living on said welfare. So when the summertime comes around and school is out, where does that meal go? How do they get that meal? Because sometimes that is the only meal that they get. And that is not an exaggeration. That is not bullshit. Sometimes that meal at school, sometimes it's breakfast and lunch, that's it. Because they go home and it's like, you can't just call up Pizza Hut and order dinner, you know? So that's why this is important. The governors have given varying reasons for refusing to take part, from the price tag to the fact that the final details of the plan have yet to be worked out. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds said she saw no need to add money to a program that helps food insecure kids, quote, when childhood obesity has become an epidemic. It sounds an awful lot like Kim Reynolds there saying, and this is what it sounds like to me, and with a sociopathy of the right wing, you got to know that this is 100% possible. It sounds to me like she's saying, well, our kids are getting fatter, so they could stand to miss a meal. So we don't need this money. We could use this money for something else, like funding some more bullets and bombs and police and drones and whatever else. We don't need to feed the kids because, come on, look at them. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous, shameful. You're the governor of a state that has so many kids living in poverty, and you would say something like that? You would say something like that. Wow. Of course they would. Of course you would. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen was a little bit more basic. He just bluntly said, I don't believe in welfare. Well, a lot of the people in your states, they do believe in welfare, not because they believe in it, but because they fucking need it. It's got nothing to do with what you believe in. If you don't believe in welfare, okay, fine. But you've got a lot of people in your state, many of which voted for you, who need things like this, who absolutely fucking need things like this to survive, not to go out there and buy avocado toast and iPhone so that they can fucking eat. And you're going to every reason imaginable, up to and including bringing back child labor instead of taking federal funds because, that's welfare. Welcome to living in a society 101, you asshole. Republican leaders have been criticized for playing politics with children in need. Yes, but they argue it is necessary to revert to pre-pandemic spending levels at a time when the United States is trillions of dollars in debt and lawmakers in Washington are struggling to come to a budget agreement. Here's an idea. If you don't want to take the money from the government, how about you take the money from the mega wealthy people who got even wealthier over the course of that pandemic? The pandemic profiteers, the ones who saw their net worths balloon. Maybe you could take the money from them. Oh, no, that's right. They'll never touch the rich. Right. They want the poor to shoulder all this burden. Right. Okay. So if none of that is an option, how about maybe you look into your own state budget and try to find that money from somewhere else? Try to take it from some other program that you may not need. But chances are very good if you're in one of these 15 states, Alabama, Alaska, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, Vermont, Wyoming, Louisiana, Iowa, Mississippi, where Mississippi has the highest rates of children living in poverty and the highest rates of food insecurity in the entire U.S. If you're a governor of one of these states, it might not be so possible to find money elsewhere because, well, so many of your residents are relying on this dirty thing that you call, or they're relying on this welfare that you think is so dirty. Yeah, my words are getting crossed up. And you're the governors of these states. You're at the top, you know? It is astounding to me how they'll get credit for anything good that happens in their state during their tenure. But when they've got so many millions of kids and adults living in abject poverty, living in filth, living in squalor, starving, not getting the proper education, not getting proper health care, doesn't matter to the voters. Doesn't matter to the voters. Doesn't matter to the people who elect them because they themselves have become convinced that this welfare that is keeping them alive is a negative. With all the money the United States of America has, this little bit of money that they're getting just so they can fucking eat is too much. They've been convinced. They've been convinced, and it's fucking sad. I don't think that these people are stupid. I don't think that these people are shooting themselves in the foot. I think they have been lied to for their entire lives, especially if you live in a place like fucking Mississippi, anywhere in the South for that matter. They have been lied to, not only by their politicians, but by their parents. They've been lied to at school. They've been lied to by the church. All of the authority figures in their lives have told them that welfare is a moral failing. And if you're starving, oh well, go get a job, even if you're 10 years old. Even if you're 10 fucking years old. And it's no coincidence that in a lot of these states, they're also trying to re-implement child labor. So that, 10-year-old Timmy and 9-year-old Susie can go out and get a job and feel like they're a part of the welfare of their environment. You just fucking sociopathic fucking freaks. You're freaks. You're animals. You are the ones making the United States a terrible place, a decrepit place. All because you don't want to take some money that can easily be accounted for. That's another thing about this. This money can easily be accounted for. $2.5 billion? Come on. Even with pre-pandemic levels and all that other horse shit that they use to try to justify not allowing kids to benefit from this. This is money that can be accounted for easily. Louisiana, 27% of children living in poverty. Jeff Landry, of course, is a far-right Republican. Okay, so in the case of Louisiana, it's unclear if they're going to take this money. No, it is clear. They did reject it. Of course. And just in Louisiana alone, 600,000 kids would benefit from this. 600,000 kids in one state in an entire country. Yeah, we don't need that money, right? Oklahoma is another one of the states. Kevin Stitt said that this merely adds more bureaucracy for families to wade through. What are you fucking talking about, you cretin? This is bureaucracy I'm sure these families would gladly wade through if it meant that their kids had something to eat. Right? I hear people, and myself included, I was on food stamps when I lived in the United States. Yeah, it was a slog. Yeah, it sucked to have to go through the system. It sucked to have to fill in the paperwork. It sucked to be means tested. All of that shit sucked. But you know what? At the end of the day, you want to know what I care about the most? I could eat. Because eating, as it turns out, is a big part of survival. And that's all these families and these kids and their parents, especially the parents, it's what they want to do. They want to survive. But they're being told by their governments, their selfish, stingy, cheap motherfucking governments that no, we can't do it because we're too proud. Fuck your pride. What good is your pride doing your state? What good is your pride doing your people? It's just making them poorer. It's making them sicker. It is making them dumber. Because you don't fund education. You don't fund programs like this that could help them find food or help them get something into something. You don't fund housing. You don't fund these things because, well, it's all their fault in the first place, right? You are the fucking governors. Take some responsibility for the people of your state. Stop this we're helping you to help yourselves bullshit. They clearly can't. This is their kids we're talking about. These people would do absolutely anything for their fucking kids. And some of these politicians, their parents, most of them are. They understand this. But they are so far removed from the plight of the poor American. They are so far removed from the plight of the working class American, or just the working class in general, that they've forgotten. They've forgotten these things. And this is what allows them to do shit like this, to reject money like this. Of course, always the South. I know Alaska's not in the South and Vermont's not in the South, but it's mostly the southern states where pick a category. They're if it's negative, they're probably leading in it. Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Oklahoma. They're probably leading in some ignominious category, and these governors are just making it worse, and somehow the people find this palatable, and they keep electing these motherfuckers. Stop voting for these people. Kentucky, stop. I know he's not a governor, but stop voting for Mitch McConnell, for Christ's sakes. Not only is his brain a thin soup at this point, but he's never fucking cared about you. He's never fucking cared about your kids. And he has been one of the millions in a chorus of other millions of sociopathic right-wingers who've tried to tell you that everything is your fault. The system has nothing to do with why you are as poor and as starving as you are. And because of that, you've got to work 3 times as hard. But they're not even going to try to provide you the job so that you can work 3 times as hard. You see, this is the circular fucking logic that comes about from right-wing thinking, right? Can't afford food, get another job. But the job market sucks because you're not doing anything to provide jobs. So let's go for the welfare. Oh, no, we can't do that because welfare. Ooh, no. Socialist, communist. Welcome to living in a society, you fucking pricks. Do the right thing. Don't. If your beef is with the parents for putting the kids in that position in the first place, whatever. You're still out of your goddamn mind. But the fact remains that the kids, they need to be fed. You all the time. Kids are our future. Kids are this. We should do everything for the children. Your campaign plank was helping the children, feeding the children. We want them to succeed. No, you want them to go to fucking war more often than not. You don't care if they succeed, and you show it very plainly with your actions as failed governors of failed states that deserve so much better. And people who deserve so much better.